Hi guys, and welcome to my channel, Plant-Based Sweetheart. My name is Mary, and today I want to give you guys 5 whole tips on how not to derail your health plan. That sounds weird, your health plan. Your health adventure or journey, whatever you want to call it. Yesterday I went to the park and it made me really reflect. A year ago, I used to go to the park in the morning or in the afternoon with my husband after work, and I was on a very straight and narrow health plan. Like, I knew that I was going to get healthy, I was going to lose weight, and everything was going to be great. And next thing you know, everything was derailed. Everything. And it really frustrated me yesterday because I was walking and thinking about it and thinking about it. And the more I thought about it, I'm like, a whole year has gone. Imagine if I had stayed on my path. Where would I be right now? But you know what? You can't live in the past, but you can learn from it. And I thought I need to make a video and share this with you guys because I want you guys to have a better experience and not be like me a year later going, well, damn, if I didn't derail myself, I could have been, X amount of weight, or I could have been so much more healthier and all that stuff. I just didn't want that for you guys. And I have a few tips for you guys, and I have my notes here because I don't want to forget anything. Before you do anything, always check with your doctors. I'm always going to say this, because your health is very important. You need to know if, maybe if you have diabetes or high blood pressure, I don't know. But just make sure it's safe for you to try whatever it is whatever plan you're going on. Just always check with your doctor. That being said, like me, last year I discovered intermittent fasting, and then I discovered starch solution. So I just jumped right in. Honestly, I bought the book. To be so honest with you guys, I didn't read the whole book. I read maybe the first 2 chapters, then skipped to what you're supposed to do. And that's probably part of why I got derailed, because if maybe I read the whole book and not just relied on YouTube videos, maybe I would have done a better job. You live and you learn. So please, if you're deciding to do the starch solution, don't be like me. Read your book. And honestly, I've started reading the book this time from the beginning, because obviously I don't remember what the first chapter was. I couldn't tell you. And I myself am going to read the whole book and learn, because I'm just one of those people. I get so excited and I just want to jump right in and not know too much. And just like the Mary's Mini in my last video, if you watched it, I said you can't have carrots because it's a root vegetable, so automatically I think it's a starch vegetable. But I was dead wrong. You can have carrots. So there's that. See, if I have done more research, I would have known. So don't be like me. Do your research. Now I'm going to talk about a little bit about mental readiness. So for me, before I start anything, even before, well, that's not true. Like I said, I keep jumping into things. And when you jump into things, you don't mentally give yourself time to take it all in and figure out what you're going to do and all that. So do yourself a favor and get yourself mentally ready. Because if you are mentally ready to do something, nothing, not you, not no one else can derail you, because you are there. And yeah, no one is perfect. Sometimes things happen. But if you get yourself mentally ready for something, then your chances are you're going to do a lot better. Like this time around, unlike last year, I gave myself 12 weeks, which is basically 90 days, to give myself that time to mentally get ready, to make my mistakes, to whatever, figure it all out. So I gave myself 90 days to do my best, not be perfect, because nobody's perfect. And that's something you don't want to put that pressure on yourself when you're starting out. So maybe I gave myself 3 months basically to figure that out, to see, is starch solution for me, or what I like about it, what I don't, what I could do. So when you're mentally prepared, that's already setting you on a good path. And that's something I think is very important. Next, I want to talk about plan of action. What is your plan of action? That kind of goes with your mental state and figure out what your plan of action is. For me, I like to get a calendar and mark, like the Mary's Mini. I marked my 10 days. I even wrote little, like, you're almost there, kind of like motivate yourself, give yourself some words of encouragement. Be kind to yourself. You could also write down for that whole month, what is your plan? For me, I know that after my Mary's Mini, I was going to dive right back into regular starch solution. And then I realized I love the Mary's Mini so much, I want to do it again. So now I already have a plan of action all the way till March. So I already know what's going to happen. And when you make that roadmap, then you're more likely to stick to it than veer off and totally mess everything up. And that's where plan of action comes in. Next, I want to talk about, is going to sound like it's kind of contradictory to me because I share everything with you guys, right? I tell you guys everything. What if you follow me on Instagram, and if you haven't, why haven't you? Plant-based sweetheart, follow me on Instagram. I share a lot in my stories. I show you guys my day-to-day. I share how I'm feeling, what I'm cooking. You get all of that, right? And if you're not on YouTube, like in regular day life, I don't want to say it. I want to say, be careful what you share with people. If I wasn't doing Instagram and Facebook and YouTube, then I think from my experience, what I've learned, don't share. If you are deciding to do starch solution and you want to give yourself a certain amount of time, or, whatever that may be, don't go shouting to the world, hey guys, I'm doing this. Because you kind of leave that door open for negativity, criticism, a lot of opinions. And then that starts messing with your head. And you're like, because you hear one person say, well, this happened to blah, you get all these unnecessary voices that you don't need. You just need one voice, your own. Do you. Do it silently. Work on yourself. And when you've mastered it, then maybe you could share. I'm not saying don't share with your friends because you want to hide a secret, but I just think for the beginning, maybe after a few months you've mastered it, you've figured it out, you're on a good path, nothing's going to stop you, then go ahead and share it. But I just wouldn't in the beginning. That's just from my experience because I have, and it hasn't gone well. Also, another thing, speaking of sharing, they kind of go hand in hand of people that, not purposely, I would never say purposely, because then if you have a friend that purposely wants to derail you, then that ain't your friend. Whether it's a friend or a family member, your partner, whatever. When you're on a certain path, okay, and like I said, I've shared with people because I am on social media and I'm so passionate about what I'm doing, and I tend to share. And sometimes you share things with people and they might not really care, which is totally fine, or that at first they are like, let me see how it goes for her, and then once they see you doing good, they're like, oh, I want to do that, it does work, Let's say a family member comes to you and says, oh my God, I've seen your results and I want to do what you're doing. That's great. If you want to help them, I'm all for it. I'm all about helping people. I love when someone says to me, oh my God, I saw this and I tried it and it didn't work, what can I do different? Like, and if I know, I love sharing that. I love helping people. But what I've learned is that sometimes when you yourself have not mastered what you're doing, as in you've only been doing it for a few months and you're still like, you're not strong. Your foundation is not dried up and hard like a rock, like cement. Then maybe you should hold off for a little bit, because once you start helping someone else before you've achieved your own goal or strong in your ways, your new healthy ways, you're going to derail yourself. Take this from me. Like I said, a whole year later, I realized, man, all the things I messed up. Sure, you want to help your family members, your friends. You want to tell everybody. I'm not saying not to, but I'm just saying look for those red flags. If you have a family member coming to you and seeing your results and is very interested in what you're doing, and they've done their research, that's awesome. And they come to you and say, you know what, I saw this and I didn't quite understand it. Can you help me? That's the kind of person you want to help because they've already done their own homework. They saw what you're doing, they were interested, and they went and researched it. By all means, help, because now maybe you have a partner that you can go on this journey with. But however, you have to look for those red flags for people that are not serious about that journey, that might think, okay, I'll try it for a little bit and whatever, and then they fall off the deep end, and guess what? You fall off with them. You have to be careful with that. So when I say be careful who you share it with, or how you share it into the world, like what your plan is, what you're doing, just know that it comes with those kind of things. You're inviting people's opinions. You're inviting people to come and ask you for help. There's nothing wrong with that. It's awesome. However, you just have to be careful because it might not help you in the long run if you're struggling to help somebody else and you're not helping yourself. So before you do any of that, master it yourself. Be deep into it. Maybe 4 months later into it and you've seen results and you're happy and you want to share, go ahead. You're entitled to. And another plan that you can do is join Facebook groups, because there everyone's doing the same thing you are. No one is sitting there asking you to hold their hand through it. Everyone's doing their research. Everyone is testing and seeing what's good, what's not. You want to follow those people. You want to have a journey with those kind of people. That's pretty much it. I just felt like I needed to share these little tips with you guys because I wish someone had told me these things. And while they are very common sense, sometimes even though you know it, I think you need to hear it. And I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope it's helpful tips for you. And please let me know in the comments if you enjoyed this video, or if you can relate somehow, or if you have any other tips. I'd like to know. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, hit the bell, hit like, share, do all that good stuff, and I will see you guys soon.